Checked out by who? I didn't authorize that, Fred said, his voice rising on each word. Denny and Sammy hung closer to Quinn. What's going on? Where's Jake? Sammy asked. I don't know, sweetie, but we're going to find him, Quinn promised. Principal Peterson held his hands toward Fred in a calming gesture. Please, Mr. Smith, lower your voice. You're scaring the children. Fred glanced at the crowd of children behind the principal. Fred's face went red with embarrassment. Sorry, but I just need to know who came to pick up my son. I understand. Please, come this way. My secretary can help you. Principal Peterson motioned them inside. Inside the secretary's office, Quinn brought Denny and Sammy with her to sit on the couch by the door. She looked around the room for something to distract the children while Fred spoke to the secretary. There was a bin of children's books by the couch. Quinn pointed it out to Sammy. Pick one, Quinn whispered. How come she gets to pick one and I don't? Denny whined. Oh, all right. Quinn leaned over and tickled Denny until he laughed out loud. Go pick one too. I will read to both of you right now. Denny ran over to join Sammy. They pulled books out with both hands and tossed aside the ones they didn't like. Quinn wanted to keep them busy. She couldn't handle two cranky kids on top of her own fear. If Jake was my firstborn son that was stolen from her at birth, could the same woman have stolen him again? Was she stalking Jake? Was she stalking all of the children? Quinn wondered to herself. She tried to quell her growing panic. Quinn looked over the children's heads to Fred. The sight of him brought her back to reality. He leaned over the secretary's desk with tense shoulders. Yes, Jake Smith. He's newly enrolled here, Fred told the secretary. The secretary looked over her glasses at him. We have a strict policy with the children here, sir. They can only be checked out by a relative, and only with ID. There's no way this was overlooked. Well, I am his father, and my son is not here, Fred clicked. The secretary turned towards her computer. She typed and scrolled. Could his mother have checked him out? It says here that a relative checked him out, but it's not specific which relative. Fred looked back to make eye contact with Quinn. It felt like both their hearts stopped at the exact moment. Beatrice Smith was Fred's soon-to-be ex-wife, and she'd been abusing Jake for years. Fred took a deep breath to control himself, but Quinn could tell. His hands were shaking. I specifically told the school that Jake would not be released to his mother's care, no matter the circumstances. Fred gripped the desk in front of him. The secretary raised her hand in innocence. I'm just asking routine questions here, sir. We will find your son, and if not, I will personally call the police. No one at this school knows what they're doing. I will call my personal security team, Fred snapped. He waved Quinn and the kids over to the door. Sir, we're sorry, sir. We can also call the police, the secretary yelled after them, but Fred just ignored her. Outside the school, Fred spoke into his cell phone in clipped tones. Max, I need to know where my son is immediately. Beatrice may have taken him from school without my permission. Find him. Denny and Sammy clung to Quinn's coat pockets and watched Fred wave his free arm around while he yelled into the phone. Both the children were trying not to cry. I miss Jake, Denny mumbled into her coat. Quinn patted his head. Me too, sweetie. Quinn looked around. She spotted a hot dog vendor on the street corner. Her gut twisted because she had floated the idea of taking Jake for a hot dog only minutes ago. She looked down at Denny and Sammy. They were so scared that they were shaking. Come on, let's have an early dinner. Quinn pulled the kids towards the steaming cart. She ordered 2 hot dogs for the children and brought the food and sodas over to the children. There, 1 for you and 1 for you. Quinn handed each child food and drink. Yummy! Sammy yelled and took a massive bite of her hot dog. Yeah, it's fizzy, Denny exclaimed before he took a long swig of soda. Just then, though, Fred's cell phone rang. Quinn whipped her head towards him. Fred hurriedly picked up. "Max, tell me you found my son." Quinn held her breath as she waited for the response. She kept her eyes on his face but couldn't read his expression. Was he trying not to scare the children because Jake was missing? Or worse, was Jake dead? Quinn's mind spun with the possibilities. Fred hung up the phone. Quinn shook herself out of her thoughts and walked over to him. "Where's Jake?" Quinn asked Fred.
Hi, I am Quinn. Want to know my battle? Then download the Pocket FM app and listen to the exciting episodes of A Mother's Battle now.